and welcome to the faction creation video for Age of Wonders. Well, let me rephrase this. Age of Wonders 4 Viewer Challenge 2. That I have received, specifically from my wife, because, you know, God bless her. She puts up with me. There we go. Realm traits. Wife's challenge. Alright, so what we're gonna do is create the faction. And this will be a longer video than probably usual. Usually they're about 20-ish minutes long, something as much as 30. This is gonna be longer because this is... from some reasons I will never understand, loves me. But he has... Thank you. Set forth a challenge. Can only choose ranged heroes and must use at least 3 animals per army as soon as possible, whenever feasible. Does that make sense? So if I start running out of mana, so that is what we're aiming toward. The traits on the map I don't think are going to matter much. So I want to do a new game.
Choose your destination.
I don't think it matters. Crystallized sands is fine. Select. Great, doesn't matter. Great.
What is your people's
Doesn't matter,
form?
doesn't matter, doesn't...
What defines their
Merciless Imperialists.
Choose your
Home of
first
Fate,
tone
great.
of
Doesn't
nature.
matter, because I want to check something. I will select Wizard King.
Reveal yourself.
Great. Done.
Your journey
Done.
begins.
This guy's just going to be deleted instantly. But... I think it sped up a little. Yep. Great. Great. The major issue... Right, so to unlock Tier 2... Tier 3... 3 affinity. Oh, well, hold on. So if I go to Shadow Tones... by tier. So to unlock tier 2, I just need 2 tomes unlocked. Okay. In order to unlock tier 3, I need 3 affinity. Tier 4 is 6 affinity. And tier 5... okay, is 8 affinity. So that's what I was unsure of. So... Tier 3, 3 affinity. Tier 4, 6. Tier 5, 8. Okay. The other thing, so, because here's the thing. Like, if we look at Shadow Tones, because I was thinking to deal with nature, right? I can't even look at this yet. I'm just gonna click end turn. End turn. Interesting. So then now they've hard locked it to 2 turns. Okay. There we go. So if we look at the tree, we're going to have to go nature, because we're going to be summoning animals. We're actually going to use wild expansion, that sort of thing. So those are summoned animals. So that's nature. We know there are plenty of nature tomes to snap. Okay? Right, you've got Tome of the Beasts, Tome of Evolution, Tome of Glades, Fertility. I think I would skip Dragons, Cycle, Vigor, Stormborn, Nature's Wrath, Paradise, Goddess, even Prosperity, right? So I'm not worried about nature affinity. Right? And then astral affinity. I was looking at it, is like, okay, this is mostly about research. Right? It makes it easier. Summon magic origin units, which the animal units we summon would count as magic origin. You know what I mean? No, but in Shadow, there is magic origin unit upkeep is reduced by 20%, right? And then, I don't know if I can show this on our hero. Right? But we know in here is a nature skill that when given to a hero, reduces nature animal units by another 20%. So we can reduce our animal units pretty far down. And I'm okay with that. Between nature and shadow. So I was wondering if we could do like a nature astral shadow build. Which I don't think I've done on stream. I think I've done it in my own time. But not on stream. But I realized there's not a lot of like astrally, you've got the Tome of Summoning, Teleportation, Amplification. Like, there's tomes we can snag. I'm not worried about astral. Not worried about nature. Shadow-wise, like, one could argue the Tome of the Tentacle? Maybe. Right? Doom Herald could be useful with Cruel Ruffindry and Joy Siphoners. Right? Shades, defensively, for renting shadows. Shade Net, how does it work? Non-owned city. Maybe, but Living Shadows, right? To make, right? But then after that, we don't care about the Tome of Great Transformation. We don't care about Corruption. We don't care about Oblivion. We don't care about the Reaper or Calamity. Maybe Severing could be fun with Disrupting Blades, but not a required thing. And then that's it. There's not a lot of shadows. So it's this issue of we either go Frost. This really does need to be changed to Frost ranged weapons. Right? In the School of Cryomancy, which is a ton of mana, a ton of knowledge. Doom Herald. And then, where is it? The Cold Dark. For Marching Winter, the Frostspire, which is a ton of knowledge. And Frostling, you know, Unity Frozen, Arctic Walk, Veil of Darkness. No Spirits, not bad. Flash Freeze, that sort of thing. So basically the choice is, are we going cold or not, as far as Shadow goes? Alright, so there's not a lot of Shadow tones. So keeping that in mind, right? Exit game. Save game. And we'll call this Faction Creation Research 1. Save. Surrender. Yep. Because I will never actually play this. Oh no. Done. So keeping in mind, yeah, nothing.
Your journey
creating the
starts
faction,
here.
right? So
What is your people's form?
we have to be lupine. That's the other thing. Nothing else matters. Okay. So keeping in mind, we can only choose ranged hero. We need to, right? That means our front line theoretically is going to be all animal units. So they're not gonna benefit. Like if we get overwhelmed tactics, they're not gonna get that, right? We get defensive, they're not gonna get that. Now pack tactics would be good. That guarantees any range units we have are always going to do at least 10% more damage. So that feels useful, right? Resistant might not be a bad one. Resilient might not be a bad one. Well, that's the other thing. So we basically have to decide, are we going at Arctic or not? I'm inclined to go for it, for all that bonus research and math. So let's commit to going Arctic now. And that leaves things like adaptable, cheerful, cold-blooded. Again, this wouldn't be bad. I'm not so sure about elusive, right? Because whatever we pick here is only going to affect our ranged unit. Hardy might not be bad. Sharp Eyes might not be bad. Arcane Focus could be useful. If we know we're going to go wizards and not archers at all, that could be useful. Empowered by magic. When taking fast recuperation's never a bad one. Ferocious, not so useful. Fire, keen-sighted. I think keen-sighted is a good all-around one. It means we're going to hit more often. Let's do keen-sighted. Okay, so keen-sighted. So because we're only using, essentially, our culture uses only ranged units. So that way, this will affect physical ranged and magic attacks. So, because I don't know which way we're going to lean yet. More than likely magic. But this way, useful, right? Arctic Walk, I think we're going to commit to that cold build. And pack tactics means when our animal units, who are not benefiting from these two, are attacking the enemy, our units will benefit. I think we do that.
What is their origin culture?
Now, here's the hard one. Culture. Oh, we can't do primal. Right, because of the Arctic adaptation. Okay. Wait.
What is your people's form? What is their origin culture?
Well, I'd get rid of this and say adaptable.
What is their origin culture?
That means we could take the glacial mammoth, right? Children. That might not be the worst idea. However, again, I think we're going to get plenty of nature. Well, actually, hold on. Let's do the math. Right, if let's say we take Frost Tome, right, that's 2, and then the tier 3 version, that's another 2, so there's 4. Definitely the Shadows, right, that gets us to 5, and then finally that leaves, like, let's assume we only get 4 of each. The I can't think of it right now. The morale one. That's another 2. So that's 7. And we don't care about hitting tier 5, so that's fine. So Glacial Mammoth is a possibility. Because that would get us to 8, but we're not going to worry about it. That's kind of fudging it. The other thing I was thinking of.
What is your people's form?
Right? Is we could go dark. Right? It starts with a low alignment. We don't have to stick with it. That means we get Call the Weak. Except we don't get the melee attack bonus. Wait. Well, no, that's weakened units. So I guess that feels kind of wasted. The other thing is Mystic. We could do Summoning. Right? Astral Resonant. So when a friendly spell is cast, this unit gains Strengthen and temporary hit points. So this is a way to heal our summoned units mid-battle. Okay. Collect Astral Echoes. Echo Infusion to rank them up. And friendly matter gain. Okay. And that would give them plus 15 morale at minimum. So there's either Summoning. The other thing I was thinking is Potential. Always overcharge. So our spells, healing, enchantments. So that summon spells would start with plus 2. I'm thinking Summoning now because of the Astral Resonance. Like with a Primal, maybe. I think I want to try this. So if we are going right.
What defines their society?
Astral Summon.
What is their origin culture?
Then I think we have to drop Adaptable for Arctic adaptation. So
What
we
is
can
their
choose
origin
the
culture.
Go Mystic, go Summoning. Select.
What defines their society?
Alright. And then so right now we have no shadow to start with. The thing is, right? Astrally, there's Ancient Wise One. Not bad. Gifted Casters could be useful. Hermit Kingdom, no. Mana Addicts and Mana Channelers. So this would allow us to start a lot of Astral starting, which means we don't have to do a lot of Astral. Like, we could just pick up Summoning and maybe a couple of others and let it fit. So that's an option. But there's not a lot in here that is like, hey, right? Pick this if you're going summoned units. Pretty much just Mana Channelers. Or if you're going animals. Now there are some shadow ones. There's a Silver Tongue is not a bad one. So we start with Court of Whispers. And an extra Whispering Stone. Powerful Evokers, we're not doing damage spells, so that's iffy. Keepers of Knowledge, not a bad one. But then I'd have to have open borders with many empires. And we start with All-Seeing. But I don't know how many open border treaties we're going to have. Julius Watchers is actually a good one because of the Wayfinder enchantment and the actual start. I thought about cult of personality, but I don't understand how this works. And my understanding of how this works makes me go, it is, and I understand these are not necessarily going to be balanced. That is perfectly fine. But, like, I don't even see, and I understand if someone wants to give me this as a challenge, how this is playable. A +1 hero cap, but every renown level, the gold unit upkeep goes up. Like, you can't... Like, it makes your heroes very powerful, very expensive. But you're gonna want a hero for every army. But +1 hero cap means you're, at best, usually only going to have a single extra hero. Compared, like, if I don't have this, I might have, what? We'll say 7, 8 heroes by endgame. You're gonna have 9? Maybe? Because you're still paying for it. So you still have to pay for it. So, like, early game, you want to use that Imperium income for cities, boosting cities, research, almost anything else. And I don't understand. I've tried using Pantheon heroes. I don't understand how they work. They are so expensive, Imperium-wise, that I can either get a city, or I can drop, like, even at the starting level, 800, like, 30 turns worth of Imperium at the beginning to get a hero. It's like, no. Why? Why would you do that? So, like, I think the starting bonus needs to be changed to either start with +1 hero cap, and I think either +2 hero cap and the cost of increasing the cap is halved, or +3 hero cap, and that's it. Right? The idea being, you're going to have a lot of heroes, but you're not going to have a lot of armies. Like, if I don't take this, I might be able to field 3 or 4 armies per city. So in a normal game, I might have, you know, by end game, 16, 17, 20 armies. But a person who takes this, you know, they're going to have maybe 10 armies max the entire game. But those armies are going to be very hard to take down because their heroes are so powerful and provide such large boosts to their armies. As is, it's just, it feels like all this is just a handicap. That's it. There is no upside to taking this. It is all down. I think I'm leaning towards Silver-Tongued. Right? Mainly for the Court of Whispers. Right? Maybe Devious Watchers? But I think again, I know I just did this. I think we almost have to go Mana Chip. So that theoretically we can pump out, you know, 2, maybe 3 animal summoning spells a turn if we have to. So we're not gonna have a lot. We got plenty of Astral. So this means we don't have to choose as much Astral as I think we do.
Choose your first tome of magic.
And I think our first tome has to be either beasts or cryo. And I'm leaning towards beasts. So I think the first two tomes we choose are beasts and cryomancy. Alright, so we get Marcus Prey. Get Animal Kinship, because we're going to be having a lot of animals. May not be useful, might be, we'll see. Summon Wild Animal, definitely be using that as much as we can. Wild Speaker, we'll give it a shot. I've never used it. And then Call of the Wild. Again, I don't know if we'll use it, but I think that's the way to go. Okay. So I think we start with Toma Beast.
What is your ruler's
again,
origin?
we can only choose ranged heroes. Either champ, so that limits us to either wizard, a ranged champion, or Eldritch Sovereign. I am gonna pick a Wizard King. We're going to need the mana.
Reveal yourself.
And the class. Oh, interesting. Either a mage, a ranger, or a ritualist. I'm thinking ritualist for the combat summons. And we can either start with a poison orb or a frost orb. I think. There is something to be said for lightning orb as well. But yeah. Let's do a frost orb. Really emphasize that cold nature. Keep the physical form. Because my wife gave this to me, it's going to be female. No. She's about middle. Arm length, leg length. My wife is 6 feet tall, even, and I love her for that. Skin decoration. I might change this with her before we actually play. But for now, this is just fine. Okay.
Your journey.
Astral
begins.
Lady. I think Empress is fine. Climb a start. No. Climb Astarte. Let's Illuminator, Nebulous, All-Knower, Omen Reader, Wayfarer, Archmage. I think it's because we've gone so much Mana Drinker. Ooh, that's not a bad one. Okay. Lock that. I think we need a better Throne City name. I like Mana Drinker. But I'm trying to think. What if we change it to Lima Astarte? Mystical Wolves is fine. From the house of... I need a Thesiosaurus. Oh, hold on. Other words for cold. Bitter. Oh, that's true. Oh! Numbing Ether might be a good one. Or Frigid Ether? Frosty Ether? Wintry Ether? Glacial. We'll do Glacial Ether. So it's cold mana, I think feels good. And then a thrown to me, yeah, Prime City, Astralonium, Astropolis, Omen Hollow. That works for me. AI personality. Ooh, boy. Deceptive Spy? Yeah, we'll do that. From the enemies, make some great, from the one that bothers them. Arcane powers. Oh. Fuck. I can't. I wanted to edit this, but I guess I can't. So, I think this is our faction. Although I think we need to...
Reveal yourself.
Purple and gold works? We have more... We're not doing penguins. As much as I want to. Nature's Affinity. I feel like I've done this one before. What's this? That's a bear more than a wolf. We'll do this one.
Your journey begins.
And I think this is our faction going forward.
Your journey starts here.
Okay. Custom. Let me... Yep, and there she is. And I think that will be our faction going forward. Now, things I did not take into account were the map. Because it is going to be semi-randomized. But I think that will be our faction going forward. Thank you for joining me in this faction creation video. Again, I thought this would take like an hour. It took me 32 minutes. We're fine. Thank you very much for joining me. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Smash that bell, all that jazz. Even better, check out the videos and playthroughs I've done. Best is come on over and check me out when I stream live every Sunday through Friday, life permitting. And until we see each other again, remember to be kind to one another. Hello, this is Gohan the Chinchilla, and we hope you're having a good day, as do I. As always, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to follow, like, subscribe, or comment. Or even better, come on over to twitch.tv/sparkytdk and watch me live every Monday through Friday. Thank you for your support.